Hello, my name is Cedric Wilson, and briefly coming to you, I wanted to talk to you about what I wrote on my blog earlier today. It's a little story about the tortoise and the hare. Now, everyone pretty much in school, when they were younger, learned about the tortoise and the hare. Well, one day the animals, they were sitting around in the woods, they were talking, just basically shooting the crap, and the rabbit started bragging about him being the fastest animal around, that he could beat anybody around in that jungle. Well, the turtle sitting around, very mild mannered, humble guy. He was a guy that did not have much ability at all. But one thing that tortoise knew is that he could win by consistency. So after the rabbit just kept talking and talking and talking, and nobody would basically race him, the tortoise spoke up and says, "You know what? I can beat you." Okay, that's when all the publicity started. When everybody said, "Oh man, oh," and then the promoters came out, the betting team came out. Everybody was in on this race. So the next day before the race started, they were betting and so forth. The rabbit had his entourage and so forth, like he was maybe the Miami Heat or somebody. Well, anyway, the race started, and that rabbit took out. He was just out of. He was basically 3/4 of the way out down the track before the tortoise even made his first step. But the rabbit being a little ADHD and stuff like that, he looked over and he said, "Wow, I think I'll start for me a nice cool one." So he went into the pub and he was sitting there with his legs crossed, drinking him a cool one, and he slowly saw that tortoise, step by step, going past. So, he's up there stretching, getting ready to start back out, and go out there and outrun that tortoise. And then the gal rabbits came from upstairs. So he said, "Wow, you know what? I got a little time. I can hang out, and you know what? I can beat this tortoise with no problem at all." So before you know it, he had been there another hour. But that tortoise consistently, persistently, not stopping for whatsoever, because he had a goal and he was going for it. So all of a sudden, the rabbit says, "Oh boy, I'm in a race." So he flies out the door and he takes off. But by then, that tortoise is only 5 steps from the finish line, moving and moving. Well, in the story, the tortoise won by a very small fraction, about 2 inches, and he won that race. Now, I like this story because, number one, the rabbit had all the ability in the world. The rabbit could do what he could. Actually, he could do. He had the charisma, he had the talent, he had everything it took to go and make it big. And I'm going to make this into an analogy of your business, because in late 2009, when I got started in business, I was a salesperson. And I worked for a company that had a brand, that advertised, and the only thing I need to do is connect the dots and basically set 4 or 5 appointments a day. Out of those 4 or 5 appointments, I knew I was going to close 1 or 2 and make a very big income. But I got hurt and I started online marketing because I saw something in online marketing. And I'm telling you, for a long time I did not succeed. I just bumped my head against the wall day after day, wondering why I wasn't getting results. But I had that mentality of, number one, is a salesman. I'm going to get that lead and I'm going to sell and sell and sell and sell that lead. Well, it's not like that. Marketing, just think about Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Coors, or some of these companies that you see advertisements and so forth. You don't stop what you're doing right then and run down to the store to buy you a Coca-Cola and every time you see the commercial. No. What they do is ingrain that into your mind, and then one day you might be down there and you look and say, "Wow, you know what? I think I want a Coke." Okay? Because you can relate to it. Well, that's what marketing is. We are in the business of putting our message out in front of the crowds, adding value, and actually solving a problem for people. Now, when I had my mentor to take a look at what I was doing wrong, because I was getting terrible results. I think the first year, shoot, I made less than $500,000. I didn't even stretch $1,000. I was going into my savings account and so forth. But what I was doing is I would start out Monday. I would be fired up. And guess what? I would work 12, 14 hours, put my marketing stuff out there, get a very small return. I mean, I just, I get some leads and so forth. I grab those leads, sell. The old traditional way, run them off. Then they, didn't want to have anything else to do with me. But my mentor looked at it and said, within seconds, he says, you know what? You have to do this thing consistently. You have to be like the tortoise. You have to get a daily plan of action on a daily basis, and you have to follow it. You don't have to blow up the world in one day, but you know what? You have to do X amount of stuff every day to get results. And then as you do that, and I'm going to go back to myself, as I did that, then I started to see, within a couple of weeks, started to getting some traffic coming in. Within a month, I had more leads than I knew what to do with. And then, I had to take some other steps to service those people. So, that's going to be on another post. But this is the thing. If you want to be successful in this business, what you're going to have to do, number one, is you're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to add value. You're going to have to figure out what your prospect is thinking, and you're going to have to give them an answer for that. And like that consistency, like that tortoise, you just have to move towards your goal on a daily basis. So if you're not getting what you're looking for today, do not get discouraged, because you might be that close. You might be that close from succeeding. What you need to do is, when most people will quit, you're going to have to say to yourself, I'm going to suck this up and I'm going to make it happen. So with that, I just wanted to leave you with that thought for today. And, do your best and think about your family. Think about all the naysayers out there when you reach it to the top. So my name is Cedric Wilson, and I will see you on the beaches of the world. Thank you very much.